Hello children, and welcome to Beaconhouse Spencer's STEM Lab. I am scientist Miss Sarah, and I'm just busy looking at some sample specimens. You know, it's an important job being a scientist, and you've joined just on the right day and time. My scientist colleague is doing not one, not two, but 3 experiments today. So I hope you can join in the fun, but remember to keep your mics muted. And in the break time, take plenty of water. Well, I have to go now. I need to do further tests on these specimens in another part of the lab, but I will be back later to see how you get on. Enjoy the fun. Bye for now.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Scientist Amy and I'm going to do some experiments with you today. Now, I was just going through my lab and I found some interesting things. For example, I have a jar of balloons with me today. What am I going to do with all these balloons, you might ask? Well, we have 3 fun experiments and they're all going to be using balloons. Now, do you all like to play with balloons? If you like to play with balloons, can you all show me a thumbs up? I want to see a big thumbs up from everyone if you like to play with balloons. Wow, I see all my friends showing me their thumbs up. Well done. Now, today, how are we going to use these balloons? Remember, during the first STEM class that you had with Miss Rachel and Miss Isabel, you used balloons to learn about static. But today, we are going to learn about gas, okay? Now, what gas can we use to inflate a balloon? And today, we're going to focus on one gas, which is carbon dioxide, okay? So CO2 is a common gas that you hear a lot. Now, how are we going to use carbon dioxide to fill up our balloons? Well, that's where our experiment will come into play, okay? Now, for our first experiment, we are going to create an underwater hot air balloon, okay? So what do you need? Let's go through the different ingredients that you will need for our first experiment. Okay, so I have a tall jar or container that's filled with water. I would say 3/4 of the way up of my container. If you can see, the water is just about to hit the top, but we have about 1/4 of the container left unfilled. Okay, that's because we're going to be dropping something inside later. And when you add something, it might rise up the water level. Okay, friends? So, how is this going to help with our balloon experiment? Well, we are going to create a hot air balloon. Now, you know a hot air balloon, there's a basket where people can go in, and then you have a big balloon that's powered by fire, right? So we're going to do something that's of the same concept, but it's going to be underwater, and instead of fire, we're going to use just gas, which is carbon dioxide. But where are we going to get gas, you ask? Well, that's where your 2 special ingredient comes in. You have vinegar and we have baking soda. Okay, friends? Now, first things first, when you're doing any experiments with balloons, we have to do a leak test. What does that mean? That means we have to check our balloons for any leaks, okay? Because if there are any holes or any leaks, so the gas will escape, and instead of inflating our balloon, it won't. It will just stay deflated like so, okay? So how do we do the test? We're going to just blow up the balloon, and then we're going to use our hand to feel around the balloon to see, are there any gas or any air that you can feel leaving the surface of the balloon, okay? So if you have balloons with me, all we have to do now is we're going to inflate our balloon by blowing it up. Okay, ready? Here we go. There you go. You don't have to blow it up too much. But now you're going to take your hand, run it around the balloon, friends. And what you're going to do is you're going to feel, is there any air? Can you feel any air? Can you listen? Because sometimes if there's a leak or a hole, when air is released through that little hole, there will be a sound. I'm using my listening ear and I can't hear anything. I'm using my hand to try and feel for air and I can't feel any. So that means my balloon is good to go. But what else do we need? All right, we also need a smaller container. Now, I'm using a glass container because when I put this container in, I know it's going to sink to the bottom, okay? If you have a plastic container, all you have to do is put either marbles or coins to weigh down the container because plastic is light, so when you put it into water, it might float to the top, okay? So I just have some marbles in my jar, all right? So what we have to do now is we're going to fill up our container, our small container with baking soda, okay? So I just have my baking soda here. I'll move this to the side so you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scoop up baking soda and fill up my jar, okay? About 3/4 of the way up your jar. That's what you're going to do, okay? If you have this at home, just fill it up like so. Okay, once you have that, now we have to pour in vinegar into our balloon. Now, why are we using baking soda and vinegar? Because when you mix baking soda and vinegar, there's going to be a reaction, and that reaction is what releases the carbon dioxide gas, okay? So to help make my work easier, I just have a funnel that I'm going to insert to the opening of the balloon, and you're going to fill up the balloon with vinegar. Now, you're going to fill it up about halfway of where the rounded part of the balloon is. So about halfway is where you want your vinegar, okay? So let's start pouring in vinegar. So if you are familiar with the baking soda and vinegar volcano experiment, it's the same concept except this time we just want gas to help inflate our balloon, okay? So I'm just filling the balloon to see if I need more vinegar. So like I said, you want to fill it up about halfway up the rounded part of your balloon. Now, it's important you do not overfill your balloon because the next step, we have to put the opening of the balloon around our small jar, and that can be tricky. And sometimes if you have too much, the vinegar will go in, and before you get to put it in, it will start to have a reaction, okay? So I think mine is good. I'm going to just take out the funnel, and now you may need a grown-up to help you, but you have to stretch out the opening of the balloon, and we're going to wrap it around the opening of the jar, okay, friends? So when you wrap it, you want to make sure the lip of the balloon will go under the lip of the jar, okay? Let's see. I'll show you mine. So carefully, I know there's vinegar in there, so I have to be very, very extra careful, making sure the vinegar stays on the side. Looking good. All right, so you'll get something that looks like that, where the vinegar is sitting on one side of the balloon, and you have the baking soda in the jar. Now, if you see where my balloon opening is, it's at the very bottom of the lid of my jar. Now, here comes the fun part, everyone. We're going to drop it into our jar of water and we're going to see if this is going to sink or if it's going to float. Are you all ready? Okay, at the count of 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Let's push it in. Here we go. And look, just like that. Oh, what's happening to my balloon? Look at that. So what happened was when I first dropped the jar into the tall container, it went down to the bottom, but as soon as the liquid that's in the balloon went into the jar that's filled with baking soda, it lifted our jar to the top and the balloon is now filled with carbon dioxide, friends. And just like that, you've created carbon dioxide. Now, do you know that there's another way? Just by breathing out. Now, when you breathe, you're breathing in oxygen, but when you breathe out, what comes out is carbon dioxide, okay? So just like that, oh, my balloon is stuck in there. It's trying to grow more. Woo! There we go. See, that's what you get. Just like so. So the gas, because it has nowhere to escape, it's filling up the balloon. That's why the balloon is inflated, okay? If there were holes or leaks in the balloon, it wouldn't be like this because the gas would have escaped. All right? So there you go. Your underwater hot air balloon, as easy as mixing mixing baking soda and vinegar, okay? So that's our first experiment done, just like so. Now, we're going to go for our first water break. So for 1 minute, we're going to go for a water break. You can clean up and you can get your materials ready for your second experiment. All right, let's go, water break time. All right, welcome back, everyone. Did you have a good sip of water? All right. Now, how fun was our first experiment? It's easy, it's fun, and you can always do it with your family. Like tomorrow is a public holiday, so if you don't have the materials today, you can always explore and do it tomorrow. Okay. Now, for our second experiment, we are still going to use carbon dioxide to inflate our balloon. But this time, remember earlier I mentioned when we breathe out carbon dioxide. That's the gas that's coming out of you. So how are we going to put the gas that's coming out of us into a balloon? Easy. Remember when we did our leak test earlier, what did we do? We blew up our balloon, right? So that's the same thing we're going to do, but this time, we're going to do it through a straw, okay? Now, for our experiment, we're going to do a balloon-powered car. So we're going to assemble a car, and then using carbon dioxide, we're going to make the car move, okay? How is that possible? Well, you just have to wait and see, okay, friends? Now, for this activity, you need a few things. You need 4 plastic bottle caps that have holes in them. This is something you can always get mommy and daddy to assist you with to create holes. Now, how big should the holes be? That's where your next material comes in, which is wooden skewers, okay? Wooden skewers that you enjoy your satay on, okay? Your kebabs on. This is what your grilled vegetables on. So you need it to be big enough that your wooden skewer is able to go through, all right? Because this is going to create our wheels later for our car. So you also need a piece of cardboard that's cut out to roughly about 7 by 15 centimeters. Now you can always use an old cereal box, an old shoe box, okay? So you just need a thick paper. So I'm using cardboard today. Now we need wooden skewers. Wooden skewers, I have 2 of it here. All right, I have 2 wooden skewers, and I also have 3 straws. Okay, friends? I have 3 straws with me. All right, so for this, I'm using bendy straws. It's up to you. You can use a normal straight straw or a bendy straw. It doesn't matter. Either will work. And of course, we need 1 balloon. Okay, friends? All right, now friends, what we're going to do now is we're going to assemble. We need tape as well. I have my tape dispenser here. Now, how are we going to assemble our balloon powered car? Now, first we're going to create a place where the axis of the car, of the wheels is going to sit, okay? So how are we going to do that? Taking your straw, you're going to cut it to the same width of your cardboard. You see where my cardboard ends? That's where we're going to cut our straw. Now, my straw is long, so this 1 straw can actually be used for both axles. So I'm just going to take this straw, cut it again. So if you're using scissors, as usual, always be careful. So now I have my 2 straws here. What we're going to do is we're going to stick it to the bottom of our cardboard using tape. Okay, friends? I'll show you. So I'll take my first straw. I'm going to put it at the bottom. So you're going to space it out evenly. And then you're going to tape it down to secure the straw to your cardboard, okay? So tape it, make sure it's nice and secure, just like so. Do the same for the other one. Tape it down, make sure it's nice and secure, just like so. Okay? How do you know it's secure? Give your cardboard a shake. Are the straws moving? No? You're good. Okay? So now that you have that, we're going to start with putting our balloon on top of the cardboard. Okay? We're doing the wheels last because if not, it's a bit hard when you're going to press on the tape later. Now, we're going to blow up the balloon later to power our car, and we're going to use a straw. This way, when the air is coming out of the balloon, it will go through 1 channel, which is the straw. If you were to blow up a balloon and just let it go, it will go all over the place. And that's not what we want, okay? By channeling the gas to go out through 1 source, that's going to help push our car and make it move, okay? So what are we going to do? Now, my straw, again, is quite long, so I will trim it down. I'll trim it down. So I'm going to put my straw in, and then I'm going to squeeze the opening of the balloon. If you can see, I'm pulling it down like that, and then I'm going to flatten it around the straw. Just to make sure the air will only leave from the straw and nowhere else from the opening of the balloon. Now, take your tape one more time, and this time you're going to secure that balloon to your straw. Okay, so wrap it around just like so. And this time, are you ready? We're going to try and blow and see if it's nice and secured and the air is not escaping from anywhere else. Ready? Give it a blow. And just like that. Okay, so again, checking for air. If there's any leakage, and there's none, okay? So you can let it go. And now we're going to secure this to the body of our car. So you're going to place your straw and your balloon on top of your cardboard. And what we're going to do is we're going to tape over the straw to secure it to the cardboard. All right? So just how you secured it with the bottom part of the cardboard, you're going to do the same with the top part. Okay, friends? So using your tape to fully secure your balloon and your straw to the body of your car. So taking my tape, pressing it down, give it a good shake again. Nothing is moving except for the floppy bit of the balloon, but that's okay. But as long as the straw is in place, you are good. So because I have a bendy straw, I'll just bend it up so it's easy for me to blow air into it. Now, let's go back to the bottom of the car, okay, friends? You have your wooden skewers and you have your bottle cap. So what are we going to do? You're going to place your wooden skewers through your straw, just like so. Okay, you're going to do it the same for both straws. So you have your straw sitting, you have your wooden skewer sitting in the straw, and now you're going to take your bottle caps, and all you have to do is put it through the wooden skewers, okay? So put one end through, and then you have another end that you can put through. Now, for me, my holes are a bit loose, so the bottle caps can easily come off the wooden skewer. So what I'll do is, friends, I'll take a bit of tape and I'm going to wrap it not on the bottle cap, but on the wooden skewers itself. So that's going to make the wooden skewer thicker, and now the cap will no longer, see, it will no longer come off of the skewer. So I'll do that for both sides, just to make sure our bottle cap will not leave our car once it starts moving, okay? So nice and slow, take your time to assemble your car. I promise you it's worth it. And again, it's an activity you can do tomorrow as well during the holidays. Have a race with your whole family. Get everyone to play along. Have a race in your front yard, in your backyard, at the playground, okay? You can do that. So just assembling my final 2 wheels. And I need to remember, what do I need to do? I need to add tape just to make sure my wheels do not come off once my car starts moving. That would not be great, friends. So just wrap my tape around, making sure to create a thickness so that our bottle caps will not roll off. Okay, last one. Here we go. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Last one. All you have to do tape around the wooden skewer. And there, you have your balloon-powered car. Now it's time for us to give this a test. So I'll clear my table. I'm going to give it air. So what do we need to do? The air that's coming out when I blow into this balloon is carbon dioxide. So that's the air that's going to inflate this balloon. Now, once you filled it up with air, you're going to quickly, as you release the straw from your mouth, put your finger on the opening of the straw because you want to be able to put your car down before letting it go, okay? All right, here we go. I'm going to put some air into it. All right, see how big my balloon is? I have my finger here. Are you ready? I'm going to get my car to move. Hopefully it will go in a straight line, but you never know. It might go round and round. Ready, everybody? Countdown again. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Oh no, my car didn't move. Oh no. Let's try that one more time. Okay, let's see this time. There you go, it went off my table, friends. Just like that, my balloon-powered car went off my table, but it needed a lot of air. So the first time around, I didn't blow as much. It didn't move, but the more air I put into it, then it started to move, okay? So like I said, it's something you can do at home using recycled materials, okay? Have a race with your whole entire family. See who can get from one end to the other the fastest. All right, good job, friends. Now, let's go for our next water break, and then we'll come back with our final experiment, okay? All right, let's go. Water break time. All right, welcome back, everybody. Now, we've had 2 experiments where we used balloons and carbon dioxide to inflate our balloons for us, okay? Now, we're going to do our 3rd and final experiment, okay? Now, it's going to be fun, and for this, you need to use soda, okay? So I just have 2 bottles of Coca-Cola here with me, all right? Now, if you have ever had cola or soda, you know that this is a carbonated drink, okay? That means there's bubbles and fizzes in there. So when you drink it, there's a sharp fizz to it, and that's because of the carbonation process. And when they create the soda, through the carbonation process, there's CO2 gas in here. There's carbon dioxide already in here, okay? Now, if there's already carbon dioxide in here, why isn't it not popping off the lid of the bottle? That's because the carbonation process also helps to preserve the drink in your bottle. Okay, that's why if you look at your soda bottle, you have a best before date, which means you have to consume it before a certain date to ensure that you get the best out of your drink and it's not bad for you. Okay, now with this, we're going to use two things today, friends. We're going to use mint. We have a Mentos candy here, Mentos mint, and we're also using some good old salt. Okay, we're going to see how these two are going to help extract the carbon dioxide gas that's already in the soda to help fill up our balloon. Okay, now this can be messy. You'll never know. So I have a towel with me. So what I'm going to do first is, friends, I'm going to put my towel on the table, okay? It's important for you to put your towel on the table. Now, I've moved my gadgets far away from me because let's say if this were to go all over the place, you know all your gadgets are safe and nothing will get ruined, okay? So gadgets aside, get your towels, just place it on your table like so, because you'll never know what's going to happen when we create a reaction within this bottle, okay? Now, I have another bottle I'll show you. When you shake up this bottle, shake, 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 shake. You see all the bubbles that's coming up to the surface? That's because when you shake the bottle, the gas, this carbon dioxide gas that's already in there is activated. So it's released to the top and that's where the bubbles come from, okay? So every time you shake it, you get bubbles at the top, which is why you should never shake the soda bottle and then open it straight away, because what will happen? It will get all over the place. It will get all over your clothes. It will get all over your table. It will get all over your face, okay? So it can explode because the gas has been trapped in the bottle for a very long time, friends. So the moment you open it, all the gas will release and that's going to bubble up the drink and make it explode, okay? That's what you do not want. So because I've shaken up this bottle quite a bit, I won't be using this for the experiment. So I have these two, okay? So as usual, carbon dioxide gas is released when you mix substances that are liquid and solid. So earlier when we did our hot air balloon, the solid was baking soda and the liquid was vinegar, okay? And then now our liquid is our Coca-Cola drink and our solid will be our Mentos candy as well as our salt, okay? Now, this is very important. You never want to skip your leak test when you do this experiment, because I promise you, if there's a leak, then it will be a big mess, okay? So, as usual, let's do our leak test first. Blow up your balloon. Now, use your senses, your touch senses, by feeling for air around the balloon. Are there any air escaping? Is there any leak? Listen, use your listening ears. Listen for any sounds of gas or air escaping. No, this balloon is good. Now let's see my next balloon. Here we go. Okay, again, feel all around your balloon. Any leaks? Any air coming out? None? Just like so. The hearing test? None? Okay, this balloon is good to go too. All right. Now we're going to do one at a time. Do you want to do one at a time, or do you want to do 2 bottles at the same time and see which one will inflate more? Okay, if you want 2 bottles at the same time, can you show me 2 fingers to the screen? 2 bottles or 1 bottle? Oh, I see my friend showing me 2 fingers. So that means we're going to do 2 bottles at the same time. Okay, friends? So first thing you want to do is you're going to open up your Mentos candy. Open it up. Now, if you want, this is an activity you can do outside as well, okay? So that's going to help with the cleaning part. So I'm just going to take, I would say, 4 Mentos candy. Taking 4 Mentos candy, and I'm going to put it into my first balloon, okay? I'm just going to push it in. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Oops. Make sure when you're pushing in your Mentos candy, it's not stuck at the neck of the balloon. You want it all the way down. Because if it's stuck at the neck of the balloon, it's going to be difficult. Now, you're going to help stretch this balloon a bit, okay, friends? So I'm just putting 4 fingers in, and I'm just stretching my balloon a bit, the neck of the balloon, because later, this is where your Mentos candy is going to go through to drop into your cola or your soda bottle, okay? So once you've stretched it out, you can let it sit. Now, the next one, you're going to fill with salt, okay, friends? So again, for this, I'm going to use my trusty funnel, so to help prevent from any mess. Got my spoon here. So we're going to take salt, and we're going to pour it in, okay? So for the salt, I'm doing quite a bit. I'll let you know how much. So I'm doing the salt all the way up to fill the whole rounded part of the balloon, okay? So I would say it's about 4 tablespoons of salt, 4 or 5 tablespoons. I'm using a teaspoon here. So 4 to 5 tablespoons of salt. There's a lot of salt in there. I can feel it. So now that you have that, are you all ready? Okay. We have to carefully open the bottle without shaking it, because we do not want to release any excess gas, okay? We want to keep a lot of the carbon dioxide in there. So first balloon, remember how we wrap our balloon around our first jar in the first experiment? Same thing, okay, friends? Keeping your solids on one side and putting your balloon over. And again, making sure the opening of the balloon goes under the lip of your bottle, okay? So I have one here. As you can see, it's sitting on the side. And I have another one, which is the salt. Ooh, it's heavy salt. Again, carefully wrapping it up and around, making sure the opening of the balloon goes under the lip, okay? Now, I have the salt, I have the Mentos. Okay, are you ready? I just hope it doesn't get messy for me. All right, here we go. Let's count down from 5 this time, okay? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see what's going to happen. Let's put the Mentos in first. Oh no, my Mentos. Okay, let's see. Whoa, look at that. This is the one with the Mentos. Look at all the gas. Now it's going up and filling up our balloon. to inflate our balloon, okay? So you see all the bubbles that the gas is releasing, it's going to the top, but this time, because there's no cap to stop it, the gas is able to escape and fill up our balloon. Now let's try the one with the salt, okay? Now I've never done the salt one before, so this is going to be something new for all of us. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's pour the salt in. Whoa, look at that. Look at the bubbles. It's all the way down to the bottom. I say skip the Mentos, friends. Just use salt. Look at all the bubbles. Way more bubbles than the Mentos. And look, even the balloon is bigger. See? Look at that. So the gas, the salt, actually gave a bigger reaction where the whole bottle turned into gas and the liquid went up. How amazing is that? The power of salt, friends. Not just for cooking. You can use it for so many things. And you see the salt has settled to the bottom. And now, if you look, the one in my Mentos, I still see small bubbles fizzing up to the top. Whereas the one with the salt, not as much, because the salt gave a bigger reaction in the beginning. So now it has settled fully, whereas the Mentos one, I can still see bubbles are still going up, okay? But just like that, that was our last experiment. And guess what? No explosion, which is a good thing because all that cleaning, not fun, right? So there you go. Our 3 experiments today, all using balloons and carbon dioxide. Easy peasy, I say. So give it a try. Tomorrow is a public holiday. You can always have fun with your parents at home, with your brothers, your sisters, okay? Thank you so much for joining me today. I had fun. I hope you do too. And have a good break. Happy Independence Day to everyone. And stay safe. All right, I'll pass you back to my friend, Scientist Sarah.
Hi, children. I hope you had a fabulous time with scientist Miss Amy. She did some wonderful experiments. Now remember that you can go back onto YouTube anytime you like and you can repeat these experiments over and over again. Well, it's time for us to go now, but we hope that you join us again next time. Please stay safe and take care. And bye-bye for now. Bye. Bye. Bye.